Have you ever wondered why your partner seems distant, less affectionate, or even frustrated, and you can't quite put your finger on the reason? What if I told you that one of the silent killers of intimacy isn't betrayal, isn't routine, and isn't even a lack of love, but something much simpler? It's the lack of initiative in sex. Yes, the failure to initiate intimacy. And before you think, but isn't that a small thing? Let me tell you, it's not. In fact, it can slowly erode the emotional foundation of a relationship, leaving one partner feeling unwanted, unloved, and disconnected. If you've ever wondered why initiating sex matters, why it's not just about physical pleasure but about emotional balance and how it could literally save or destroy your relationship, then stay with me until the end of this video, because this conversation could change the way you see intimacy forever. Let's start with a universal truth. Intimacy is not just about sex. It's about connection, desire, validation, and mutual participation. When two people are in a relationship, intimacy works best when it's a shared responsibility. If only one person always takes the role of the initiator, while the other remains passive, the dynamic slowly becomes unbalanced. The partner who initiates begins to feel like they are the only one who wants it, while the other just accepts it. And over time, that imbalance can turn into rejection, resentment, and even emotional withdrawal. Here's the hidden danger. When one partner never initiates, the other begins to internalize it as a lack of desire. Think about it. If your partner never reaches for you, never touches you first, never sends signals of attraction, you start to wonder, am I not attractive enough? Do they not want me? Am I just an obligation? These questions don't go away easily. They eat at your self-esteem, they create insecurity, and they fuel emotional distance. But why does this happen? Why is initiating so important? The reason lies in psychology. Human beings crave reciprocity in relationships. We don't just want to be loved, we want to feel chosen. Initiation is an act of choosing. When you reach out for your partner, when you're the one to spark intimacy, you're saying, I want you, I desire you, you matter to me. That message is powerful, and it goes far beyond sex. It reassures your partner that the attraction is mutual, that the bond is alive, and that you're not just coexisting. You're actively choosing each other again and again. Now, here's the interesting part. Many people who don't initiate sex often don't realize the impact it has. They assume that as long as they say yes when their partner makes the move, everything is fine. They think, I'm not rejecting them. I'm participating. So what's the problem? But the truth is, passivity in intimacy still communicates something. It communicates that you're not actively interested. And that silent message can be devastating over time. Imagine it like this. You're in a friendship where you're always the one to text first, to call, to make plans. At first, you don't mind. But after months or years, you start to feel like you care more than the other person does. You start to wonder if they even value your presence. That exact dynamic plays out in sexual intimacy when one partner always waits and never initiates. Now let's dive deeper into the psychology of desire. Desire is fueled by two things: being wanted and wanting. Both need to exist. If one partner always plays the role of the pursuer and the other the responder, the pursuer can feel exhausted and underappreciated. And ironically, the responder may also feel pressure, because sex becomes something they give rather than something they share. This imbalance can lead to decreased desire on both sides. Here's something that may shock you. In surveys, one of the top complaints people have in long-term relationships isn't about frequency of sex, but about who initiates. People don't just want sex, they want to feel that their partner desires them enough to start it. The act of initiation itself is often more validating than the sex that follows. But why do some people avoid initiating sex? The reasons vary. For some, it's fear of rejection. They worry. What if I make a move and my partner says no? For others, it's cultural or personal conditioning. They were raised to believe that initiating sex is inappropriate, especially for women. Some may simply fall into patterns of comfort, assuming that their partner will always take the lead. And in certain cases, people may not even realize how much it matters because their focus is on other ways of showing love. Here's the problem with all those reasons. While they may feel valid individually, the outcome is the same. The partner who always initiates feels unwanted, and the intimacy of the relationship begins to suffer. So, what can you do if you realize that you're not initiating enough, or if your partner is the one who never initiates? The first step is awareness. Acknowledge that initiation is not just a bonus in a relationship, it's a responsibility. Just like communication, respect, and support, intimacy thrives when both partners actively participate. The second step is courage. Initiating sex requires vulnerability. It's about putting yourself out there, risking a no, and still showing your desire. But here's the beauty. Most of the time, partners are not rejecting you. They may just be tired, distracted, or not in the mood at that moment. A rejection is not a reflection of your worth. And yet, the act of trying, of expressing desire, still communicates love. The third step is creativity. Initiation doesn't always have to be grand or obvious. It can be subtle, a lingering kiss, a playful touch, a whispered suggestion, or even a flirty text earlier in the day to set the tone. It's about creating moments of anticipation, making your partner feel chosen and wanted. Sometimes the smallest gestures carry the biggest impact. Let's look at what happens when both partners take equal responsibility for initiation. The dynamic shifts completely. Instead of one person carrying the weight of desire, both are actively contributing. This creates balance, excitement, and validation on both sides. Each partner feels desired and intimacy becomes something shared, not one-sided. Now, let's address one more layer of complexity. What if you're in a relationship where the imbalance has already taken root? Maybe one partner has been the sole initiator for years and the other barely makes a move. Can this be fixed? The answer is yes, but it requires honest communication and intentional effort. The initiating partner can express their feelings, not as accusations but as needs. I want to feel desired by you. I want to know that you choose me, not just accept me. This opens the door to understanding, rather than blame. Meanwhile, the non-initiating partner can begin practicing small steps of initiation, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Over time, this builds confidence and becomes more natural. Here's a truth that might surprise you. Many couples who struggle with sexual dissatisfaction don't actually have a problem with the frequency of sex, but with the lack of mutual pursuit. It's not about how many times, it's about who takes the step. Balance creates a deeper bond than quantity ever could. I also want to highlight something important. Initiation is not just physical, it's emotional. When you initiate, you're not only sparking sexual activity, you're telling your partner, I see you, I want you, you matter to me. This emotional layer is what strengthens the relationship far beyond the bedroom. Think about it. When both partners initiate, intimacy becomes playful, adventurous, and alive. It prevents sex from becoming routine or transactional. Instead, it stays dynamic and full of energy. And this energy spills into the rest of the relationship, making you both feel closer, more appreciated, and more connected. But if initiation is consistently one-sided, the opposite happens. Resentment builds. The initiator may stop trying altogether, out of exhaustion or fear of rejection. The responder may not even realize the damage until the intimacy has withered. At that point, repair becomes much harder. That's why awareness and action today are so critical. So here's the takeaway. Don't underestimate the power of initiation. It's not just about sex. It's about equality, validation, and emotional health in your relationship. If you've been waiting for your partner to always make the move, ask yourself, what message am I sending? Am I showing them that I want them, or just waiting to be wanted? If you feel nervous about initiating, start small. Send a message, make a playful move, or set the mood in subtle ways. Over time, you'll see that these small acts create big shifts in your partner's perception and in your relationship as a whole. Remember, intimacy thrives on balance. When both partners take responsibility, desire stays alive. When one partner always waits, the connection begins to die. So, be brave, take initiative, and remind your partner and yourself that desire is a two-way street. And here's the final thought I want to leave you with. Every time you initiate, you're not just asking for sex. You're offering your partner the gift of being desired. And in a world where so many people feel unseen or undervalued, that gift could be the very thing that keeps your love strong, alive, and unbreakable.